Coach, first of all, welcome to the program, welcome to the team. What are the challenges, in your opinion, of coaching together a cohesive offensive line in the modern era of college football?
Um, I think it's the same thing everybody else is battling, and from a team aspect, and really when you think about a line play, it's just a team within a team, five guys playing as one. Um, so I think it just comes down to, reps together, reps over time, and you got to keep sustain a core nucleus of guys and keep those guys together. And then in this era, it's probably not realistic to say you're going to be able to keep every guy there together every year. But it's just getting those guys together and building reps together. So the time we got coming up in spring ball and walkthroughs is a big piece of that.
Sam, go ahead.
Zach, give us some background on your connection with Coach Henson and why you believe this is a good fit for you coming to West Lafayette to work with him again.
Yeah, me and Coach Henson coached me as a senior at Oklahoma State. He was with me for 1 year as the O-line coach there. The year before that, he was the offensive line analyst when I was a junior. Um, and then got done at Oklahoma State and a couple years later got into coaching in 2020. Um, and went to Baylor and then went back to Oklahoma State. And then when Coach Henson went to USC, he called me and asked me to go with him as his assistant. Had a chance to go there and we worked together for 3 years there, doing this offense that we're running here, and had a lot of success doing it. And so I think anytime, the O line's such a big part of an offense, right? It's basically half your offense. So um, anytime you got two guys in the room that can understand what the other one's thinking, just because, and once again, that comes over time. Um, it helps with the flow and cohesiveness, and so and then a good fit. I think it's a good fit with Coach Henson. I think Purdue's a great fit. I've always admired Coach Oldham from afar and what he's accomplished, right? Watching him at UNLV and then watching him at Missouri, um, and always had a ton of respect for the way his teams play. And so when he called me, to me it was a no-brainer.
Go to Nathan.
Hey, Zach, Nathan Baird from the Indianapolis Star. Good to meet you. What has Coach Odom communicated about what he expects from the running game, and maybe especially what needs to be better in that regard than where they were last season?
Yeah, obviously the expectation's always to be as good as anybody, right? You want to always be the best. So um, his standards are high. I think we all know you got to run the ball in the Big Ten to be successful. We know that, and we've done that. Me and Coach Henson in the past. So that's the plan. Is we got to run the ball at a high level. That's Coach Odom's expectations for us, and it's our job to get that done up front, and that's the plan.
Go to Tom.
Yeah, have you had a chance to just kind of assess your personnel, what you have to work with, sort of give us an idea of the depth of talent you have and maybe who you think could be some cornerstones for your offensive line?
Yeah, I have. It's this time you get to watch them work out. You get to watch the film. Obviously, I haven't been on the field with them doing anything physical football wise. So, um, but watching the film, I think you got some older guys coming back like Joey Tenona. You got which Joey watching the film's a good player. You got Ethan Trent coming back in that room. You got Jude coming back, along with some others that have been there and kind of on the cusp of breaking through. So you look at those guys, and then we were able to add some pieces in the portal and some open spots between a couple guys from USC that we knew, and then Nuku Mafi. Um, Jatavius from South Carolina, and then Boaz. So, um, along with the pieces we already had in that room, and then you add those pieces in, um, you hope you're bringing enough together right there. You believe you're bringing enough together to give us a good chance to be successful.
Go back to Nathan.
Yeah, can you go into more detail on those two USC guys? Because obviously you know them well. Like what do they bring to the table, and why do you think they might be poised for, I guess, a next step?
Yeah. I'll start with Micah Benuelos. Micah started games at USC last year. And then from there, we recruited Micah, had a great relationship with Micah. Micah sat with us in a position meeting room. And by us, I'm saying Coach Henson, and more specifically, he sat with me in a position meeting room. So yeah, he understands the way we want things done. I think there's a little bit of understanding already there, so you help minimize that learning curve a little bit. Um, and then from there, he knows this offense. Some words are different, but the core nucleus of this offense he understands. And so um, you get a guy who is athletic, good player, and still has his best ball in front of him. Makai Sena, recruited him out of Arlington, Texas to USC. Um, and so had a connection there. We knew him pretty well. He's obviously sat in a meeting room with us there as well, just like Micah. Um, Athletic guy who can swing between tackle and guard. Can really give you somebody that can play all five. Um, which is really valuable as you get, into seasons and get deeper into seasons as you need to start moving some guys around sometimes, as you have to in this league at times because of how physical it is. Um, so they both give us two good athletes, two good players that elevate us as a room just in a talent aspect. So along with what you got in there, which that's the goal is to keep on building talent throughout the room.
Doug, go ahead.
Hey, Zach. You kind of hit on it there, just the versatility piece along the offensive line. I feel like you guys have a lot of guys that have played several different positions at the college level. Just how much mixing and matching do you kind of foresee during spring ball to solidify a starting five?
Yeah, as much as it takes, and I know that's kind of a cliche answer, but um, I told those guys from day one, and everybody knows that you gotta play your best five guys. That's how you win. So, um, however those best five come together, um, is how it'll play out. We will be able to play multiple positions. I believe in that as an O-line coach. And so guys will be cross-trained to do other things. I think you have to, um, especially now in this era of college football. Um, you don't have the old school and I remember back to when I was playing, you couldn't transfer, and I was telling some guys about this the other day. Like you had guys coming up behind guys every year, so you had guys that played guard, and you still cross-train some, but now to me it's even closer to the NFL model of like you got to have a guy that can play both tackles. You got to have a guy that can play both guards and play inside. Um, and even more so having guys that can go guard or tackle from a length and size standpoint and an athleticism standpoint. Those guys have immense value right now in college football because of the transfer portal and where you're at, and not that young guys don't play. Um, but it's really hard to always project which freshmen are going to be able to play right away, right? And so you're never scared to play those guys, but you like to obviously have guys coming up. To me, playing offensive line as a freshman in the Big Ten is extremely hard to do.
Any other questions?